everyone. Today, we're going to be going over how to stay motivated in today's world. Today's world is completely crazy. Everyone is super hypersensitive to stuff. It's not how life used to be 20 years ago, and probably not how life will be in 20 years from now. So how do you stay motivated in today's world? You know, there's quite a few things that come across it, and one of the big things to me is your mentality. Mentality is completely everything. And it's how you look, just your entire perspective in this world. If you always have a negative perspective, you know, it's going to be a lot more difficult to stay motivated in today's world. It really is. If you're always seeing a gray cloud or always seeing very pessimistic on certain views, you know, that stuff invades your brain and consistently tells you to not be motivated, or it tells you to be angry, tells you to be sad, rather than trying to be optimistic and looking forward to the future and going back to your goals and your dreams and all of that. So, you know, mentality is literally everything in this world. And it's about keeping the right mindset, because if you can keep the right mindset, then you will stay on a path to drive to success. And if you don't, then obviously the opposite is going to happen. So how do you do that? How do you stay in a positive attitude, or like with your perspective? You know, the first thing that you can do is think of something you're thankful for every single day. You know, this kind of repetitive mentality thinking is just going to help you see a more optimistic world, because there's plenty of things in this world that are good. There really is. So if you can think about that stuff, then it's just putting you in the right direction. Now, perspective. If you put everything in perspective and think the glass is always half empty, you know, it's going to be tough to stay on track. How do I get this glass full? Well, if you say, well, oh man, this glass is already half full, then it's going to bring you to saying, yes, we're going to fill this cup up. And, you know, that's just a little metaphor to thinking about like why you started things. Like, why did you start whatever you're going for? Like, what is your motivation? Is your dreams, your goals? Everyone has them, but a lot of people lose sight to them. And why? It's because those negative things invade their brain to where they don't want to think about it anymore. And that's the problem. So let's go back. Why did you start? Why did you start thinking about, I want to start working out, or I want to start eating healthy, or I want to make a lot of money? Like, why did you first think about that? You have to go back and think, okay, I was thinking about this because I want to get here. For example, my main motivation in life is to be financially free. And I'm sure that's a lot of other people's goals, dreams, and all that. But mine truly is to remain financially free so I can give my family, friends, myself, my dogs the life I've always dreamt of. You know, being financially to a slave to that system definitely does not help you be encouraged or motivated or whatever to succeed in life. It really just makes you think that you're the victim, when really you can be the person that changes your entire life. It really only takes your brain to change your life. It's no one else. No one else, whatever else is going on in that world, is going to change who you are except yourself. So if you can look on the inside and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to change my life for this, you know, that's really when things start changing. And that's how you really stay motivated. So you really have to change entirely how you think. And if you can do that, then everything will go in the right path. So mine was to, of course, be financially free. That's not everyone. Some people want happiness. Some people don't want love. Of course, I want those things too. But one of my driving factors has always been financially free. So what I like doing is I love out hustling everyone else, because I know if I can out hustle the rest, then I am more on path to be financially free. And whatever that may be, starting a couple businesses, stocks, whatever it is, you know, everyone's path is different. Mine just happens to be that. Yours can definitely be different. So it's also another one that I love is a good work-life balance. That has always been one of my dreams and goals, to where, and I'm sure everyone, where they can work 5 hours a week and then have the rest of their time with family, friends, and whoever it be. Now, how do you stay on that path? How do you get there? It's tough. And, you know, it's going to take a lot of goals and dreams, and really keeping them in track and staying to those, staying motivated to hitting those goals. And one of my things that I always think of is, if I'm going to start here on this pedestal, I'm starting here, I'm working here, but I want to be here. How do I get here? So I'm like, okay, this is my path. This is where I got to go. And sometimes it just takes, I want to be here. And you start going to that goal and then figure out the little stuff later. Big picture, do it, figure out the little things later. It really helps a ton because if you stress about those little things consistently, it's going to take forever to get up there. So what I do is I start at a platform here, build on this platform, build whatever it's called, start here, work on it, work on it, work on it. Don't try to jump a couple steps because then you'll see failure and then you're going to want to quit. Um, though failure is good because now you've learned a lesson and know how to get to that other step. But I love starting here, building upon this, and then jumping to the next one. So start here, down to the next one, or up, whatever it is, up to the next one, and build upon this. Don't go back down, don't go up. Because if I go up, I'm going to see failure. If I go back down, I'm not pushing forward anymore. Life's too easy. And life is hard. It's hard for everyone. Everyone's got different things in this world that happens. But it's how you stay your mentality to stay on top of it. And if you don't, then you just go back down and go back to the easiness because it's easy. But then you never go up and you never reach that ultimate goal. I still work towards my goals every single day, even though I may be at this pedestal and others see I'm up here. I don't see that for myself because I still see myself as here, building upon this to get to the next step. And then once I'm there, build upon that to the next step, build upon this to the next step. There's really no quick way to success unless you win the lottery. But what are the chances of that? I think I have a better chance of actually getting hit by a car. So I'm not going to take that chance. I'm going to hustle, grind, and stay motivated, stay optimistic so I can achieve those goals and dreams of mine. Everyone's the same way though. And no matter what it is, you have to build upon it. And then don't be afraid of failure because failure is going to help you succeed later. Failure teaches you all the life things that are bad or whatever went wrong to teaching you how to do it right next time. And you really have to think of it that way because if you see failure as a pessimistic view or you get down on yourself because you failed, then you're just going to go back to that easiness to where you never actually go to the next level. So how do you go to that next level and how do you stay motivated? Well, it all comes back to your mentality. And if it stays optimistic and you actually take those failures and learn from that, that's just going to drive you more to be more successful and stay more motivated to actually achieve your dreams and goals. So really there's short-term goals and then long-term goals, okay? Two totally separate things. And you've got to look at both of them differently because you can't say I'm going to make $1 million this year and that's your long-term goal, but then you don't hit it within for your first year and then get mad on yourself because you didn't hit that goal. Create more of a short-term goal, but really you want to me, when I very first started, I wanted to make 6 figures. I would say, okay, I wanted to make 100,000. But really, I put down there, I want to make 150,000. And if I made 120, I'm stoked because my actual goal was only 100,000. And I shot for the stars and I landed on the moon. And I'm still okay with that because, I passed my short-term goal. Now, my ultimate goal was let's make $300,000. And I want to make that yearly, fine, and not working myself to death. But if I made 120,000, I can't get mad at myself for not making that 300,000. I'm just building upon that pedestal, do what I did the next time, but work harder, learn from those mistakes, learn from those failures so I can get to 180, 210, 240, to eventually where I'm at 300. And then at that point, now I can create new pedestals to go from there. So really the short-term goals and long-term are totally different and you can't get mad at yourself for them. Now, something that I did in the very beginning was I wrote down all my goals, short-term and long-term. And I actually printed it out from Microsoft Word and then put it on my door, on my bathroom mirror, in other random places. So I would consistently look at my goals. I even had a whiteboard just like this back in the day where I would write down the goal, I want to make $300,000. How do I get there? And then I'd write down every time I had a closing, I'd be I'm at 40,000. I'm so much closer. And then at the end of the year, just say I made 150, I'm still stoked because that's great money. Can't get mad at myself for only making 150 because 150 is still beyond amazing and still past my original goal. And as long as I kept going for that step, That's what really matters. And as long as I keep growing, not staying stagnant or going backwards, that's what kept me motivated. And really, again, all of it leads back to being optimistic, because I'm a super optimistic person. Um, a lot of people aren't, and it's okay if you're not, but to try and start thinking more in a positive attitude, because it'll truly change your life in every way. You'll start seeing the world in a better place. You'll start seeing relationships better. You'll start seeing yourself, your inner self, better. Everything changes. I mean, I try to avoid the news. I watch just enough to where I'm updated in today's world and what's going on, but I try to stay away from it because it's always negative, always. And that's what drives people to watch it, because they're like, what else bad is going on? But then people don't realize that they go back and watch it, and then they get angry, they get upset. And now they stay upset, get angry, and then try and bring it on to others so they can be angry as well. And when you're around that crowd, it doesn't work well for you in staying on track to your motivations, dreams, and goals. So it doesn't help to actually watch the news every single day. Just know enough to where you're updated with the entire world, whatever it is, the US, countries, whatever you want to be updated on. Just so you know enough what's going on, but where you can still focus on driving for your dreams and goals. And as long as you can do that, see your goals, stay optimistic, get away from being a pessimist or thinking always negative thoughts or getting mad at yourself for not hitting your goals and thinking you're a failure. You're not. You're just another step away from achieving it. So first, it starts with you writing down your goals and dreams and staying with it, okay? Write it all down. Have it in front of you. It helps to actually physically see it all the time. A lot of people, they get just jumbled in their brain and they don't know what their goals are or their dreams are. And then when they're going, usually you'd expect to go like this, but they're all over the place because they don't have a clear path of where they want to be. So that's what it starts with, actually writing down what it is and then building upon step by step by step on how to get there. Now, again, you can't get mad at yourself for failing because we all fail. A lot of people don't see the failures I've made in my life. And trust me, there's been plenty. I'll never forget where, and this is hilarious, where I was like, man, I'm going to do penny stocks. I'm going to take 15,000 from my credit card and put it in my checking account, which is super bad idea. Don't ever do this. And then take that 15,000 and invest it in penny stocks because I thought it was going to go skyrocket. And at one point it did. My stocks went to like 22,000. And I was stoked, which I should have sold right there, but I got greedy and watched it literally go to zero. One of the worst mistakes I ever did, because that 15,000, now I had to pay interest on my credit card for that every single month, to where ultimately I ended up paying around 20,000, and I just lost $20,000 just because of that stupid mistake. But it was a learning lesson. It was something I know not to do again. Some people would be like, oh my God, I'm 20K in debt. What am I going to do? The world's over. Not for me. I knew, okay, I need to knock this out. How can I knock this out? So I did everything I could to knock it out by getting a ton of closings and wiped it totally clean. I was like, you know what? It's a fresh start. I'm back to square one. I don't care. This was a learning lesson. I never really went back down. All it did was help me build upon my pedestal, know what to do next, and keep moving in on life. So really, that's what you have to do. And it sounds easier than what I'm saying. It's not easy. It's not at all. There's going to be plenty of mistakes. But as long as you learn from them and learn from others' mistakes and watch other people on what they do, or ask other people what they do and how they got to their goals, maybe it'll help you figure out your goals, dreams, motivations, to where you can write them down and now build on the pedestals and keep on moving up in life. So that's how you stay motivated in today's world. It's really tough. It's not easy. It's really, really hard. It truly is. It's not easy for anyone. But if you can do the stuff that I talked about, it's going to change your life, and it changed mine for sure. I'm blessed to be where I am today, but I'm still not happy where I am because I want to keep on growing. Yes, I've hit a ton of my goals, but there's so many more goals that I want to hit. So there's always room to keep growing. And as long as you do that, life just becomes better and better and better. It gets harder and harder because now if you make a mistake, now there's going to be harder learning lessons. But you just start from the bottom, like I was talking about. You learn from those mistakes and grow upon them, and stay optimistic that you're just going to keep on moving forward. But the day you stop, is the day everything stops, and now everything you were going for is come to an extreme halt and maybe even bring you backwards. So you can't ever stop for what you want, because if you truly want it, just go back to why you wanted it, and everything should be a lot more clear at that point. So I hope this helps you guys. If you guys ever need help, I'm always here to help and try and just talk about what's going to get you to your goals or what your goals are. So I'm always here to help you guys. And yeah, that's all I got today. So I hope everyone has a great day, and everyone take care. Bye, guys.